The world is watching as a historic meeting unfolds in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. On February 18, 2025, high-ranking officials from Russia and the United States gathered behind closed doors for secretive negotiations that could change the course of global politics. The stakes are higher than ever. Both nations are embroiled in a geopolitical chess match that extends beyond mere diplomacy. The question is, what exactly is being discussed, and what hidden agendas are at play? At the heart of these negotiations are two major figures, Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Both are seasoned diplomats, but their reputations precede them. Lavrov, a master strategist, has long been the face of Russia's global influence, while Rubio, known for his hardline stance on foreign policy, represents an America that is no longer willing to sit on the sidelines. Their meeting in Riyadh is not just a routine discussion, it is a power struggle disguised as diplomacy. The official reason for the meeting is to discuss the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, a war that has sent shockwaves through international relations. However, sources within the diplomatic community suggest that the true agenda goes far beyond Ukraine. Whispers of economic agreements, energy deals, and even a potential restructuring of military alliances have surfaced, leaving experts to wonder, is this a meeting for peace, or the beginning of a new world order? One of the most intriguing aspects of these negotiations is their location. Saudi Arabia, a nation historically aligned with the West but maintaining strong ties with Russia, has positioned itself as the ultimate mediator. The choice of Riyadh as the meeting place is not random, it signals a shift in global alliances, with Saudi Arabia playing an increasingly crucial role in balancing power between East and West. Could this be a sign that the traditional world order is shifting, with new power blocks emerging behind closed doors? As details of the meeting slowly trickle out, one issue remains at the forefront: energy dominance. Russia, one of the world's largest oil producers, has been leveraging its resources as both a weapon and a bargaining chip. Meanwhile, the United States, struggling with fluctuating fuel prices and an unpredictable global market, is desperate to stabilize its energy sector. Could this meeting result in a secret deal regarding oil and gas production, one that would impact economies worldwide? But beyond the economic implications, there are deeper concerns about security and military cooperation. With NATO's role in global security increasingly scrutinized, could these talks hint at a restructuring of international defense agreements? There are already murmurs that certain NATO members may be considering a more independent approach, potentially leading to a redefined security landscape. If true, these negotiations could mark the beginning of a dramatic shift in global military alliances. Yet, despite all the speculation, the details of the talks remain shrouded in secrecy. Journalists attempting to gather information have been met with vague responses and diplomatic doublespeak. The lack of transparency only fuels more theories. Could this be the groundwork for a major announcement that will catch the world by surprise? Is there a hidden agenda that neither side is willing to reveal? Another layer of intrigue surrounds the role of Saudi Arabia itself. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been quietly strengthening his influence on the global stage, positioning Saudi Arabia as a critical player in diplomatic and economic matters. His ability to bring both Russia and the United States to the same table demonstrates a shift in power dynamics, one that might redefine who holds influence in international politics moving forward. Could Saudi Arabia be leveraging this situation to secure its own long-term interests, such as defense agreements or greater control over global oil markets? There are also reports that China is keeping a close eye on these negotiations. With Beijing's growing economic partnerships in the Middle East and its strategic alliance with Russia, any agreements made in Riyadh could have ripple effects on China's foreign policy. Could this meeting influence China's own diplomatic strategies, potentially shifting alliances in unexpected ways? What is certain is that this is no ordinary diplomatic meeting. As Russia and the US engage in high-stakes discussions, the world holds its breath. Will these talks lead to peace, or are they merely setting the stage for an even greater conflict? The answers may not come today, but the decisions made behind those closed doors will shape the future in ways we cannot yet imagine. As global leaders continue to negotiate, speculation mounts about whether secret side deals are being made. Historically, such high-profile meetings often include undisclosed agreements. Could there be discussions on prisoner exchanges, cyber warfare protocols, or even new military strategies that remain hidden from the public? If so, what consequences will these deals have for future geopolitical stability? This negotiation is not just about diplomacy, it is about the future of international order, the balance of power, and the potential redrawing of alliances. And as more details emerge, one thing remains clear: the world is entering a new era, one where nothing is as it seems, and every move on the geopolitical chessboard carries unprecedented weight. As the high-stakes negotiations between Russia and the United States in Riyadh continue, the world remains in suspense. The carefully curated statements from officials offer little insight into what is truly unfolding behind closed doors. Diplomats maintain a composed front, but behind the scenes, tensions are reportedly running high. With so many conflicting interests at play, the outcome of this meeting could redefine global politics for years to come. One of the biggest questions looming over these talks is whether they will lead to an actual resolution of the Ukraine conflict, or if this is merely a strategic maneuver to buy time. While both sides claim they are committed to diplomacy, their respective actions suggest otherwise. U.S. officials have repeatedly stated that they will continue to support Ukraine's defense, while Russia has shown no signs of backing down from its military objectives. So, is this truly a peace talk, or simply a recalibration of long-term strategies? Some leaks suggest that, despite the public rhetoric, both nations are quietly discussing a temporary ceasefire, one that would allow them to regroup, rather than genuinely work toward a lasting peace. If such an agreement is reached, what would that mean for the future? Would it be a step toward ending the war, or merely a pause before an even greater escalation? Beyond Ukraine, energy politics have taken center stage in the discussions. Russia, as one of the world's largest energy suppliers, has long used its oil and gas as leverage in geopolitical conflicts. The U.S., facing economic uncertainty and volatile fuel prices, is under pressure to secure a stable energy future. But any agreement regarding energy resources will come at a cost, one that could have far-reaching consequences for global markets. If the U.S. and Russia reach a behind-the-scenes agreement on energy trade, will this signal a new phase of cooperation, or will it be another tool for manipulation? And then, there is the question of military alliances. For decades, NATO has been the cornerstone of Western security, but recent fractures within the alliance suggest a shifting landscape. Some sources speculate that certain European countries, weary of prolonged conflict and economic strain, may be considering new approaches to security, ones that could involve a less confrontational stance toward Russia. If NATO's unity weakens, it could completely reshape the power dynamics of the world order. Could this meeting be laying the groundwork for a future where NATO is no longer the dominant security force? As more details trickle out, one thing becomes increasingly clear: this meeting is about much more than just diplomacy. There are rumors of secret clauses being added to agreements, deals being made that will never be publicly acknowledged. History has shown that the most critical geopolitical shifts often happen not in front of cameras, but in discreet conversations between powerful individuals. The real question remains: what will be the long-term consequences of these negotiations? Will this meeting mark the beginning of a new chapter of diplomacy, or will it serve as a catalyst for a deeper global divide? Are these discussions a step toward stabilizing the world, or are they merely a calculated performance to distract from even larger plans unfolding behind the scenes? For now, the world can only wait and watch. The leaders will exit the negotiation room, shake hands for the cameras, and issue carefully crafted statements about progress. But the true impact of this meeting will only be revealed in the months and years to come. Was this a turning point in history, or just another move in a much larger game?